This video will contain spoilers. Consider yourself warned. In Season 1 of The Lord of the Rings of Power, we see the forging of the 3 Elven Rings of Power, which are pivotal as the show leads towards the creation of the One Ring. By Season 2, these rings have found their rightful bearers. This series, serving as a prequel to Tolkien's iconic films, sets the stage for the creation of these powerful artifacts, which are part of a grander scheme involving the crafting of 19 rings for the various races of Middle-earth. The Elven Rings were made in response to the Elves' concerns about the passage of time and their own fading existence. By the end of Season 1, it's clear that the Elves are either dying or fading, facing a choice between leaving Middle-earth or disappearing entirely. Celebrimbor, a master elven smith, discovered a potential solution with Mithril, a powerful substance. Initially, he aimed to create a Mithril crown, but the influence of Sauron, disguised as Halbrand, led to the decision to forge rings instead. Sauron's advice helped Celebrimbor overcome the difficulties of working with Mithril, resulting in the creation of the 3 Elven Rings: Vilya, Nenya, and Narya. Each Elven Ring is unique, distinguished by its gem and name. Nenya, known as the Ring of Adamant and the Ring of Water, is named after the Elvish word for water. Then, Narya, the Ring of Fire, features a ruby and is named after the Quenya term for fiery red. Vilya, the Ring of Air, is adorned with a sapphire and named after the Quenya word for air. The crafting of these rings involved various metals and alloys, likely due to differences in the forging techniques and materials used. The Elven Rings have the power to halt the Elves' fading and preserve their presence in Middle-earth. By the end of Season 2, Sauron will create the One Ring to control all others. When Sauron dons the One Ring, the Elven Ring-bearers will recognize his influence and remove their rings to avoid falling under his dominion. This might happen in Season 2, as Celebrimbor continues to forge additional rings with Sauron. Season 2 is showing the Elven 3 on their journey, with Galadriel bearing Nenya, Gil-galad with Vilya, though eventually Vilya will be passed to Elrond, and Círdan holding Narya, which will eventually end up with Gandalf. There's speculation that the stranger might be Gandalf, which could align with Narya finding its canonical bearer. Sauron's involvement in the creation of the Elven Rings is intriguing. Despite being an adversary of the Elves, Sauron sought to forge these rings to control their bearers. Mithril was crucial for his plans, and as the quest for it unfolds, Sauron aims to use the rings to exert control over the Elves. Even after discovering that Sauron helped create the rings, Galadriel, Gil-galad, and Círdan retain them. The rings were made to prevent the Elves from fading, allowing them to stay in Middle-earth rather than return to Valinor. Thus, despite their creator's intentions, the rings still serve their purpose. Elrond's concern about the rings being corrupted by Sauron is valid. In Tolkien's lore, the 3 Elven Rings were the last to be made and avoided direct corruption because Sauron did not handle them. The rings help preserve the Elves from fading, and Galadriel's use of Nenya to protect Lothlorien in The Lord of the Rings confirms their efficacy. However, Sauron's design of the rings included the potential for connection to the One Ring, meaning that once Sauron possesses it, he will be able to control all ring-bearers, including those with the Elven Rings. Elrond's caution about Sauron's influence is justified, and the Elves' vigilance will be crucial as the story progresses. What do you think about the Elven Rings and their impact on the story? Share your thoughts in the comments below.